which resulted in people breeding the cobras. The British then found out that people were breeding the cobras and cancelled the bounty. This resulted in people releasing the cobras.
Okay. Alright, guys. So, as Tetcher entertains us with interesting colonial stories of the English of the UK, we're heading into game number 2 of our tournament. We're still in the first round. We got Team Memory, a Chinese team, now going up against Genius. And Volskaya Foundry is our first map. Now, we had a bit of a ruffle stomp in our first match, where, of course, one of the tournament favorites already made an appearance. But, yeah, now we actually get to see one of the Chinese teams that plays here. And you got the background information.
We do. We have quite a few familiar players there, like you said. Hang on, I've lost it, is what I've done. There we go.
Yeah, perfect setup.
So yes, on the right we do have Team Genius. Haben has been a player for a ridiculously long time, has been around since some of the earliest seasons of HGC and before that, playing on Supernova for the longest time, who survived their Crucible run right at the end of HGC and were able to put on quite a performance.
Give him the clamps!
They're giving him the clams! Gazlo, recently reworked, is suddenly really, really good, and as such, it's actually going to get played today.
Yeah, so we got Gazlo in, and yeah, that's going to be good. We also have Mushi Mushi with Reina. Best name ever, by the way. And this could be a really interesting one. I have no idea who takes the lead here, but that we have the Gazlord already as the first pick is kind of cool. We've seen him banned a lot in the European matches, also in these CCL preparation matches on the newest patch. And of course now with Garrosh and Reina, already a good start into the draft 2 for Team Genius. There's going to be differences between the meta that we're seeing in this tournament and everything else that we're getting, since of course with China, I mean, there's already one Anduin as one of the first picks. I mean, hello.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is a...
Is that a Garrosh counter pick? Flip in, pull out?
Probably the pull is, but I don't know why they wouldn't just pick Johanna a bit earlier as well, because it combos with Gazlo ridiculously well and is the go-to counter for Garrosh. I'm not sure why I would prioritize Anduin first.
Muradin banned.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I was actually a little bit, like lately when I casted some of these prep matches for CCL, I gotta say, the Haymaker Muradins over there are just getting out of fucking control. They're not winning anything, but it's just like, damn, they're everywhere. It's just like, the build is all over the place. It's like someone, you know, takes a dice and rolls it every single time he gets a new talent. It's just like, I don't know what's happening there, but it's not a good look.
Well,
solo, by the way. Solo frontline Muradin Haymaker, and you're looking at it, it's like, that can't work. And then it doesn't, but next game he just makes an appearance again, so I don't know.
Yeah. If I don't know what I'm doing, the enemies can't either. It's the perfect plan.
By the way, is Lucky Mong the best name ever?
It's pretty decent. That's another more experienced player who's been playing a lot during the revival tournaments we've been seeing in Korea for pretty solid results. A lot of thirds, a lot of fourths.
Mushi Mushi, isn't that Mushi Mushi pork? Isn't that like a dish?
I think you think of Mushu pork.
Mushu? It's like, I don't know. It sounds funny. I like it. And yeah, Ching Chingy on the bottom, I like that too, because it's pretty much just like whining. But anyway, so now we got the Garrosh and player setup. I like it. We got Mei and we got Tacita. Okay. Also a decent setup for them. The one thing that worries me a little bit is that Gazlo is actually... I expected a triple frontline with Gazlo, honestly. So that they have someone that can just like tank the damage at the front a little bit more heavily. But this way they are maybe a bit more on the squishy side. They have a lot of push on the side lane though. And
they have to go for the level 4 rocket socket talent, because if that is the sustain, it does allow Gazlo to basically out-duel almost any solo laner outside of maybe ETC. So they gotta go for that. The Tigers is smart though, because there's only one real tank here, and if they kill that, it leaves Gazlo to tank, and that's not ideal.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Tigers range increase on level 1, and that he's now back in Ida, so that's awesome. Well, Sky Foundry, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1. Let's jump in and check it out. We got Team Memory going up against Genius. All right. Yeah, honestly, they should just make the range increase baseline. I don't know. Rework the level 1 talents a bit so that it maybe doesn't give you too much of a boost if you have, in addition to that, another talent on level 1. But that should have been a change like age. There's so many changes that I think are so natural, and they don't make them. I like that they are lately approaching it in a bit of a different fashion where they are incrementally just like buffing talents a bit and other stuff. But there's so much stuff that you still haven't changed where I'm just like, why? It's a number change. Let's just go for it. All right. There we go. Okay, party time. Let's go. Team Memory, the Chinese team with Yugaras on Mei. We got Black Cat on Hanzo, Railgun on Anduin, Sunchuan on Tasada, Psio on Gazlo, and on the right side, the Korean team. We have got Team Genius with Luckymon on Malfurion, Vasto on Blaze, Habin on Garrosh. Mushi Mushi Han Hangu on Tychus, and Chingy on Reyna with level 1 ace in the hole, and Tychus is expected with a press the advantage. We got a StarCraft team, by the way. Blaze, Tychus, and Reyna.
Oh yeah. Also, before I mispronounce this, Xing-Yi?
Just call him Ching Ching.
Ching Ching, gotcha.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Ching Ching and Mushi Mushi.
Thank you for the save. Alrighty, Mushi Mushi I can do. That one I can pronounce. That's Vasto looking for the throw. Quick throw onto Sunxiang as he is taken out so quickly here. Yagaros forced to back away, tries to turn onto Vasto for the counter kill, but that Blaze a bit too tanky.
Yeah, and a quick pause right away. So, seems like we might have actually a couple of problems here with ping or anything else. We're going to figure that out. But just showcasing this quickly, press the advantage on level 1. I talked about it as we headed into this. And again, super important. This is actually one of the talents that allows the hero to make it back into the meta. And honestly, that's one of the things that's going to be super important in the future there too. Just having Tychus with the range a little bit safer so they can actually make a couple of plays here. So
yeah, and when you combine that with the combat tactician later on as well, and likely we've been seeing a lot of it these days, in the rhythm, it means you have almost consistent minigun up, which when you combine it with sizzling attacks later on, means Tychus just melts tanks. And with only a single tank on the board and the only counter being Snowblind, you kind of just kick ass with Tychus at that point. May starting off with heat transfer, no Q-based build, which might have given us some counterplay. And Gazlo, big game hunter. This is the standard talent.
Yeah, the thing is really that right now, if you're looking at the lineup of the red team, if they play their combo right, with especially, I mean, they got so much lockdown here. Just like think this through for a moment. If anybody moves a little bit too far forward, you have immediately the Garrosh move in, stunning him out, throwing him into the team. You can follow that up with a good root on Malfurion, and then you have an additional stun through Blaze, while Tychus can just come in, shred the target to pieces with the help of Jimmy. There's so much single target damage on them right now that you have a really good setup. Now, there are, of course, a couple of counterplays. You can play around the medallion first and foremost, and then in addition to that, you have Anduin with his trade, which I suppose is one of the main reasons why we actually have Anduin here, that they just hope that they can pull targets back out after Garrosh made a move and threw them in. But outside of those two aspects coming into play, it's going to be a very aggressive game from Team Genius where they're trying to get those kills. And I mean, it's reflected by the fact that they already got the opening kill in the game here.
All right, looks like the teams are ready to head back in. In terms of, like you said, they've definitely been able to get the opening kill, and they have played very aggressively so far. But they were dropped quite low in that fight. We do see that there is potential for the turnaround plays. So we will have to see Genius play at least a little cautiously so that they don't overstep like they very nearly did in that first fight.
Also, I want to see a bit if there's maybe a different meta for this map on the Asian server than there is in the European side. Because normally it's a very scripted game whenever you play on Volskaya Foundry. If you have a European match happening just simply around the items at the 1 minute mark, double checking what's happening around the healing beacon, and then of course with the first objective, walk top side, try and take the fountain down. And so far at least the teams are immediately jumping onto those camps at the 1 minute mark. We have the main tank sticking around at the healing beacon area, double checking if anybody is making a move, just playing the safe. And now with the first few turrets, we can see if a team actually commits to it. And so far that hasn't really happened, but of course there's still time.
Plenty of time for them to try and make a play onto that. For now, we see the Snowblind once again catching people on the rotation. So far, this is good play from Memory to try and play around and dodge any hard engages.
Yeah, going for the camps here again. And we actually got stacks in. Seems like the Chinese team is having some issues. Maybe with ping here too. At least this time it wasn't around a fight, so there's that. But we got in the rhythm now. And I'm still a little bit torn on this one. I really feel that with good coordination, especially if you're having like one main tank on the other side, going into the bigger they are is just like the better choice. And it has the bigger they are is pretty much the meta talent. But then again, lately, after the change to the level 1 talent on Tychus, we've seen in the rhythm a little bit more. Now, it's by no means the dominant talent on the hero, but you can definitely make arguments now that the talent is a lot more viable than it was before we had Press the Advantage coming in.
Yeah, the combat tactician and Press the Advantage have just made in the rhythm so much easier to stack. It used to be a bit of a meme, and like you said, bigger they are was just so much safer. But now we are seeing that. Very similar to Incinerator Gauntlets there, where it was a good talent but wasn't the go-to. Since the recent changes to Blaze, it has also been a talent where we're seeing a resurgence. Ignore distractions, by the way, for Hanzo. This is very much looking like a Dragon Strike build where you get cooldown reduction on simple geometry to get your cooldown reduction, more arrows, which you then use to get cooldown reduction on your Scatter Arrow with auto attacks at level 7, and that combines with the level 20, which gives you cooldown reduction on Dragon Strike when you either hit auto attacks with extra range from Ignore Distractions, or Scatter Arrows, which you'll have 2 more of, and cooldown reduction due to level 1 and 7.
Yeah, and coming back to In the Rhythm, I mean, back in the day, In the Rhythm was actually for a long time meta. And that was during the time when the level 13 talent would give you insta-heal. So then, during the minigun. So and Blizzard pretty much killed the talent combo completely with the change on the 13 talent. And that also made the level 4 talent pretty much useless in comparison. And that was a huge problem. But before that, you had a lot of players that would just try to stack In the Rhythm as much as they could. And even forego Odin in favor of the drill so that they can get more value out of the minigun. And yeah, once that the level 13 talent in the way that it existed before was gone, once that they changed it, this entire build just fell completely apart.
Interesting talents to point out here as we go further in. We've already mentioned the Ignore All Distractions, and in the rhythm, we are going to be seeing the Electric Fence for Tassadar, going for a little bit of zoning, and that extra slow might help set up for Mei and Gazlo. There's the throw from Haben, who is being denied the pickup by Sun Xian, who's able to get the continued auto attacks, but Lucky able to get in there and get the barge committer, which they turn onto Railgun immediately. That makes that a double kill. Very nicely done by Tedious.
2 down, the Crybaby is dead too. And of course they had to use the healing beacon pretty much immediately. But that's 3 kills to 0 now, and they can make a play for Hanzo, which they do. Take him down, and that is another victory for them. Yeah, here another look actually at the team fight up at the top. So Mei went down first, and they used that healing beacon to sustain themselves throughout the fight. And with good body blocking, Anduin was then also put into a pretty tricky spot, couldn't escape, and was taken down. Not as many stacks for Tychus in that fight as I expected. Didn't really get on the cooldown activation enough, but he has 10 now. Has on level 7, of course, the Relentless Soldier, and we got the Unstable Compound now too. But they're looking good. Early level 7, nearly level ahead, 4 kills against 0. Good start for the red team for sure.
They're not going for maximum cooldown, maximum stacks on in the rhythm, where they could go for the Combat Tactician. That Relentless Soldier going to be a lot safer against Mei. Invasion onto the point, even Zio has come up. There's the pull onto Sun Xian, keeping him alive as they try to turn onto Vasto.
Players also still skirting the edges of the checkpoint here, but they have to fall back and tap the fountain before they re-engage. They still hold the stats advantage. Medallions, again, cooldowns are now visible all the way up at the top. On both sides, we still have 3 players that haven't used theirs just yet. And important to note is that both tanks actually used their medallion already on the side of Team Genius, so they don't have those unstoppable frames anymore if it becomes a little bit too hot in the team fight. Mei, then again, she still has hers available, so that's a bit of an advantage for the frontliner on the side of Team Memory, as we have another attack already moving in, and Garrosh is in a bit of trouble here.
Trying to hold the front line. There's a good stun, though, onto Mei, who's forced to burn the cryostasis. Gazlo is currently doing the tanking, though, because Yagaras was forced to back up. Zeo trying to tank this, but he needs those auto attacks and those abilities to land to get that scrap to cast those turrets for rocket sockets. But it's not working out because he's getting blinded and stunned all fight.
Yeah, technically speaking, we have also Tychus with not really a lot of value out of the level 4 yet. Wants to stack a bit more. That's a great pull, but immediately Anduin is there and tries to return it. 19 stacks now, the kill against Garrosh, and it looks like Blaze might fall too. We have Gazlo moving in, giving them the clamps, as once again Hanzo is there, delivers, and they are able to secure a second kill. Blaze is down 2, the Protector is taken, and all of this started with a good Garrosh engagement, where they were hoping for a kill, but Anduin saved the target and they turned it around.
Yeah, the pull onto Mei, keeping her alive. They could have followed up if it hadn't been for the great blizzard from Mei, catching 4 members of the side of Genius, allowing Memory to step up. Gazlo stepping forward and getting so many auto attacks off to get that cooldown reduction and spam out those turrets. He controlled the choke point, and they were able to claim the first objective as they do try and smash through this top lane. Although, percentage damage Tychus, rip Protector.
Yeah, Protector pretty much down within seconds. They opened the wall though, and if they can take the fountain, that's all you want to do for the preparation of the next objective. Level 10 abilities are ready on both sides, and they're now making the move for another healing beacon. First one that they could potentially win here. 20,000 damage for Hanzo. Yeah, throwing them out, trying to channel, can't really do it. He's low, Garrosh is in trouble, and he goes down as we have the wall coming in from Mei, trying to cut them off here. Arrow is missing completely, but the rest of the red team can escape as Malfurion commits to the ult and helps them with the tranquility.
They do back up. Dragon Arrow, I have so far just been 100% wrong on the potential Dragon strikes, as the Arrow, though, will combo so well with that Grabber Bomb. I love the combo of Ice Wall and Electric Fence Force Wall. They have all the fight control now. They control everything because there's no dives, there's no jumps. Everything will get blocked by these walls. Garrosh can't engage. Blaze can't engage if they get those setups. This is really, really hard for Genius to step up into.
The problem also is that we had some fantastic, well, one fantastic ult from Anduin. He had some great trade saves. The ult was fantastic during the team fight. Very tough to interrupt too, was shielded as well. But we also get Tychus just stacking more. He's currently sitting at 40 stacks, so he was really able during the last fight to finally boost those numbers a little bit. Has of course committed to Odin. The days where we see the drill in combination within the rhythm are long gone. We have new habits nearly completed on top of that, so there's definitely some light at the end of the tunnel, but the situation in terms of experience has of course changed. Now we're looking at the lead for Team Memory, and they're trying to go for Blaze, who bunkers up at the bottom, dodges out on the Gazlo ult. Nicely done.
Bunga had to be used there. Medallion was 14 seconds out at the time of that engage. Like you said, dodging that Gazlo ult. Worth it for Vasto. That bunker is a 60-second cooldown. Grabber Bomb is a little bit shorter, but it does give him a little bit more free time to soak in the bot lane without worrying about another hard engage.
Next objective should happen soon, TM, and we will have 13 for both sides. So that's already neat, especially since Blaze has completed his quest. So he has another chance to dodge out on any stuns with some unstoppable frames and CC in general. 30 seconds left. And that means they gotta have enough time for level 13. And let's not forget that Fountain at the top is still alive.
It will keep them sustained through the fight this time, and that is all down to Tychus, who was able to clear that Protector out so quickly. Here comes the move up, though, from Memory to try and take that out. Genius, though, making it up in time, clearing this out, and that shield, new and improved fountains, will protect, will respawn. Tychus, by the way, spray and pray on level 13.
I was just about to mention that as well. Don't see a whole lot of those new overkill talents, or just overkill talents in general lately. And spray and pray, obviously, real need here. Got the range increase now too. Have a few slows that you can chip in as well. So definitely a neat follow-up if they can get some value. Anduin, is he going to go for the trade again? Yes, saves May. Good engage anyways by Team Genius. And they're still looking for an opportunity to maybe set a kill up. But the first few items have already been deployed. First turret is on the point. And Gazlo is, of course, going to try and add a few more to the mix.
Standard build by Gazlo. There's the ice wall, catches two, but it blocks Gazlo's ult. They unintentionally layer their CCs incorrectly as Sun Qian is trying to do enough damage to force back Malfurion and will do so. Great route from Railgun. But so far the position it has been claimed and is being held by Memory.
And they take another one. They even missed the arrow, but it just doesn't matter. They have the position, they zone them out, they take the Protector. And now, of course, Team Genius can try and burn it down again, but the fact remains that this is 2 Protectors in a row now for the Chinese team.
They've tried a siege onto the top lane, but like you said, that burn, they're really not getting a huge amount done here. Just having to use the laser to burn through this. Rocket Punch could, of course, disable the 4, but it can't disable the Tychus unless he's able to get him. So that damage output is insane.
By the way, Tychus is stacking like a madman against the Protector. Like, this is the best opportunity for him to get stacks together whenever he goes up against the Protector. One of the normal plays that you want to make with Tychus, especially if you run him together with the Garrosh, is Garrosh flips the target in, stuns it, and that's the time frame when Tychus comes in, activates the minigun, and then starts to stack his level 4. The problem for him is, every single time he's tried to do that so far, we immediately have Anduin reacting to the situation, pulling the target back out, and the entire minigun cooldown goes, it's just being wasted pretty much.
Yeah, he's gone for the speed of the Pious as well, so Anduin's trying to give himself that quick burst of speed so he can make it there in time, instead of going for the Enchant Boots Lion speed. So as such, he is playing this a little safer. Quick deviation, by the way, from Gazlo's build 60. Oh, hang on. There is the mid lane cleaned up. Gravity Bomb still available, as they did burn Storms for this. But he's going for Arc Reactor here, coming in. So he's going for a little bit more burst damage in exchange for the potential laser zoning and laser burst. This relies on him landing the wombo combo. The lasers are great for zoning, but it's still a pretty solid and standard build. Another overkill talent.
Yeah, armor-piercing rounds, exactly. It's kind of cool to see that being used. I was actually hoping that some of the European teams, when the patch came out, would just like try to go into a full overkill build just for the lulz and see what they could do with it. But pretty much nobody did. So now we have some of those talents in action. 22,000 damage for him. Tychus is the top damage dealer for the red team. But he doesn't hold a candle to, I mean, neither Hanzo, Tassadar, or Gazlo. All 3 of them have already crossed over into 30,000 damage and more. So they are heavily ahead when it comes to damage output.
Gazlo's stack is padding his numbers a little bit due to the fact he has gone for superior schematics, which is the go-to talent these days, unless you need extra burst, in which case you go for spell power. But in this case, he moves in. See those tiny little turrets? Tiny little bit of burst. That's the arc reactor there. But getting that cooldown reduction on the stun is worth it for that.
Top side still gets pressured. I mean, this fort in the middle has already been destroyed, and at the top they're pressuring Tychus now so heavily that he is having trouble to keep that fort in play. Here comes the flip, the taunt is out, and Anduin, as I said, is there immediately. Tychus gets also punished by Tassadar, and that's... Honestly, this is just absolutely perfect for what I described earlier. The target gets flipped in and taunted, Tychus immediately activated the minigun, and just 1 second afterwards, there's immediately the pull by Anduin, and the entire play is denied. So that Anduin choice in the draft, I mean, we already highlighted that it could be because of the Garrosh pick on the other side, and I'm pretty sure that's the reasoning behind it from their perspective, because Anduin is just counterplaying everything that Garrosh does right now.
Medallion was used there by May to back up. Jaggeris backing away to stay safe and available for this next fight. And like you say, this Anduin has been such a nuisance. In the meantime, it's been being used on the front lines, which is all Memory can get to, all Genius can get to here. Memory playing this so well. Sun Qian as well, just 1v1ing Tychus so hard in that last fight as well. Vasto gets completely destroyed just for stepping up to try and tank.
The Chinese team is doing so well here. And I mean, as we're talking about Tychus, honestly, if your entire setup is the idea of isolating a target through Garrosh, and potentially, of course, even the tank, since this is one of the main heroes you get access to, you kind of need to go for the bigger they are. So it just feels also weird to play in the rhythm in the first place if that's the game plan here, because you want to burst the target down quickly. Arrow misses again, but everybody is committing to ults right now. There's the wall, Garrosh is down. Beautiful play by Team Memory. They're doing a fantastic job here. They get the double kill. They are hoping for more. There's the wall, and they look for another kill. They might just be able to get Malfurion. He barely survives. But they're just on the run half the game now. It's a 2-level lead for Team Memory, and they have the level 20 already.
They have the 20, and now it's going to be even more impossible for Genius to get a good engage. Glyph of Faith coming in for Anduin, and suddenly the chances of engage just went to 0. Force Barrier as well. Legitimate memes coming in here for Tasdar from Xianqiang. With an electric fence combo, gives them just all the zoning potential, and of course that miniature black hole. 12-second cooldown reduction for everyone inside the grabber bomb. The fights are just so in control for Memory right now. I don't see how Genius can find anything here.
And the damage is just... I mean, it's must be a little bit frustrating. Look at the difference in numbers here. I mean, there's obviously a bit of padding going on when you're talking about Gazlo, just simply because you have those turrets. But you have 58,000 on Hanzo. Poke, okay, still. We have 56 for Tassadar, and then you compare it to the damage numbers that we're seeing from the StarCraft heroes on the other side, with Tigers on 27, Reyna on 23, Blaze on 21. It's just not really the numbers that you need if you want to get these kills. Item control is a completely different story too. Double healing beacon. Of course, Team Genius didn't even fight for this third spot. How could they? They don't have their 20 talents. They're desperately trying to get enough experience to lock the Storm talents in so that they can now defend with even talents at least, but it is an uphill battle for them.
Yeah, they don't even have everyone here right now. Tigers, the most important person, arguably, is being forced to port back and make their way in as fast as possible to try and defend this. But yeah, that keep is gonzo.
Yeah, there's no way, especially since they still don't have level 20. They're trying to fight a little bit, but finally there's the Storm Talons. Big red button comes in immediately. The fortified bunker is ready. They should be able to at least save it here. I don't think they're going to lose, but can they turn it around? That's the big question. They haven't taken a single major structure yet in this game.
Their way forward. Haben not looking so hard. There's Gravo, only catches the tank as Haven is destroyed in that fight. The Protector is finally sniped by Tigers, who again, big red button. Dragon Arrow is sidestepped, so they still got a chance to hold this.
Yeah, the arrows... have you seen an arrow connect yet? I think he missed every single one in this game. So
no, yes, one. He hit one. He hit one on Garrosh in top lane.
True. 7-4 now. Bunker is out. Still, Tigers is just firing away here. Good bubble once more from Anduin. They're trying to make it a play for Blaze. He escapes. The shield is whittled down slowly but steadily. Team Genius is in so much trouble, and they're going to lose Tigers here, aren't they? Yes, Tigers is dead too. So that's a 5 versus 3 setup for them right now. Anduin is battling it out with Jimmy in the back. Is pulling Tassadar back in too. But Anduin goes down. He's eliminated. May... Ooh, Gazlo trying to combo them in. He can't. And the red team is actually fighting back and saving their core.
They're holding. There are 2 catapults pushing onto the core, but Simsyut is going to be taken out here. Lucky trying to chase it in with Vesto. Trying to get the big slows. Will set that up. Reyna unable to chase in any further. The core is tied to catapults. That will have to be dealt with eventually. There we go. Thank you, Garrosh. Haben will solve that, and they're going to be able to finally move across the map and just take items and do something. Genius back in it.
Yeah, they need to get the item control now for the next upcoming fight. 175 stacks for Tassadar on the level 1, 97 for Tigers on his level 4. So things are slowly but steadily happening. And well, let's see if they can turn it. I mean, they lost 15 points on the core. We have 8 kills to 7. But with the item control that they're now slowly establishing, maybe they have a chance to lock the next objective in. Would be their first. Every single protector has so far been won by Team Memory. And of course, they want to finish what they started. But maybe with those level 20 talents, and a little bit of momentum, they can come back. Big arrow after the Gazlo combo and the attempt to zone them out here. Bit of a ballsy play, honestly. With only 3 heroes, they would commit to this. That could backfire.
Yeah, they were trying to set up something, but again, Gravity Bomb only really hitting the tanks, so they didn't have enough damage to set up. Gazo missing the immediate burst that the Laser Town at 16 offers in exchange for just a little bit of single target damage from the turrets. But in this case, he did get multiple heroes in the Gravity Bomb, so it's already back for the Wombo. The Dragon Arrow, though, was a little bit more questionable on follow-up. That's going to be down for another 30 seconds.
That should be fine for the objective, but yeah. There it is, announced as we speak. And now we have 3 items against 0, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they hold on to anything. Yeah, nope, blue team doesn't have anything. So 3 items to 0 as we're going to head into the 4th objective of the game. But again, keep in mind, even if Team Genius wins the Protector, the fact remains that they have to go through Fort and Keep if they want to make their way towards the core.
They really do. They have to make their way through just something. And yes, the Protector will help out because percentage damage is something that is lacking a bit for Memory. Giant Slayer is their option due to the fact that Tassadar didn't go for Thermal Lance. He went for Psychic Shock here. So Sintian going for better AoE damage for their Wombo, but less chance of immediately blowing up that Garrosh or Blaze. So they will also struggle to kill the Protector.
Yeah, let's go and see if they can win it. I mean, this is the fight pretty much. So let's see if they have a chance to take this one. Yeah, we already have Garrosh at the front again, going... Oh, the pull is there immediately. Combo, Gaslow, the arrow misses! May pushed him out of the arrow's path. Hanzo misses us, therefore again the fortified bunker is down. Anduin with the bubble, another flip is already happening. And Andu back to business, Malfurion is down. Goodbye, my friend. 5 versus 4, they're chasing them hard. May moves in, Protector is already taken by the blue team, and they are going for gold here. Taking down Jimmy, taking down Blaze, and trying to eliminate the last 2 standing.
They go for Railgun, they're trying to dive past. One last try and a kill. Tigers goes for the overpower versus May instead of the percentage damage. But that is a full team wipe coming in for Memory as they move across the map. And with no one left to defend, even with the slightly staggered kills, they're easily going to be able to crush through this core with everyone alive. And Memory will take game number 1.
Not even taking the Protector to take it down here. First game. Well, Skya Foundry, Team Memory takes it and eliminates Genius from the first map. Okay. Yeah, nicely done. Good job by them.
Absolutely. 100% MVP Railgun on that Anduin.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord, those pulls. That was beautiful.
Yeah, they really, from the draft, like the draft worked so well for them. That was actually beautiful. Field of Eternity here at the Halloween Harvest Tournament. So, got a good one on our hands. That actually the first map, really nice control from the Chinese team. Played their draft perfectly. So, big shout out to them. And let's see if they can repeat that on Battlefield of Eternity, or if Team Genius can go for a draft that helps them a little bit in these setups now.
Exactly. So, Maiev going to be banned out quite early here from Genius, removing a hero who would certainly set up for the playstyle we've been seeing from Memory, which is very Wombo focused.
Yeah, and there's their Gaslow ban. First pick, first ban have shifted. So, of course, the team that loses decides whether they want to have first pick or whether they want to choose the map. Normally, the team that loses goes for first pick. This game is no exception. Team Genius decides that they want to have first ban, first pick. And so they would be the ones ending up with Gaslow if they want him. Team Memory doesn't risk that. Say really like, nope, ain't happening. Not on our watch, and ban him out right away.
Going to be seeing second ban from Genius here. They remove the Ana, and this is a pretty consistent ban we've seen from Haben in the past when he plays at least on ladder. Some research I was able to do. So, and also, again, denies Wombos and the Li Ming Ana combos you can get on this map, or Li Ming Ana, or Chromie Ana is so deadly, it's basically impossible to defend against. You have to play aggressively into it, which is going to be very hard due to Memory's playstyle.
Alright. They actually take their time with the bans. So we got Sukov banned out too. I mean, Sukov is really nice for interrupting any combos as well with a good lurking arm that he can set up. There's the early pick into Jimmy, the Exterminator value, as Jing Jing locks him in right away. So they're definitely looking to burn that Immortal down as quickly as they can. as I said before, other heroes that you could see on this map on the damage side would be Greymane, Sylvanas, Vala with an arrow build, and Hanzo. So a couple of good picks that they could lock in still. Liming, of course, always nice as well. They decided to go down the Hanzo route for now, and ETC. One of the best tanks on this map, honestly.
Absolutely. So much control, so much hard engaged ability to face melt people into immortal stuns is always welcome. Also, just an interesting fact, this is the second time we've played Battlefield of Eternity today, and the second time Reyna has been first picked. So Jing in good company by the looks of it. But with Hanzo on the board, we saw them go basically a full scatter arrow build last game, so wouldn't be too surprising to see that coming in again.
Oh. Ooh, Panna time! Alright!
Yeah.
We got the Chen on the top lane. I like it. That could make for some top keg plays. Good stuff.
Top keg plays? Is that what you just said to me?
Yep.
Oh dear. Alrighty. Well, Chen on the board with no offlaner selected, so very risky to pick that so early. But I'm excited to see how well they're able to execute that. Again, what counters Chen? I don't actually know. I don't see Chen played enough.
Alcohol-free ale.
Oh dear.
Sober October.
Alrighty. I'm being told apparently that's not Haven, it's a fan of Haven, and that can't be right, surely. It's like a number 11 GM player. That can't be right, surely.
Did you get trolled?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, either way, Imperius banned out. I'm just going to keep saying it's Haven because that's where I have the stats from. We're going to be seeing Liming.
Okay.
That's so much burst.
We have the Anduin again, so maybe it's a little bit more than Railgun just trying to counteract a hero like Garrosh on the last map. Maybe it's really just also a preference pick for him. I guess we're going to find out if this goes to a third map. But I like that we got Liming. Again, she's great on the map. You can always get some damage in against the opponent's Immortal. They have to either soak it with the objective, the damage, or with the heroes. You got Hanzo for the pokes. It's a solid combo. A bit more chromey counter play here as they are looking for a mage war. And Diablo! Dibbles is in. So Diablo Chen at the front line.
I'm quite surprised that we saw Chromie fall so far down the draft when she's been in ban phases for most of the other games we've been seeing recently on this map. But it does go over. We're going to see, like you said, the Diablo into ETC. This is a good map for Diablo. Lots of walls to hit, and it was going to be working overtime and also being careful with its own positioning. With Chen and Diablo combined, that is so much dive.
Yeah, Blaze, I like it. So a little bit more of a safety layer with ETC at the front. An additional stun, of course, too. Can poke that out as well. So solid setup for both sides. I gotta say, I really like what we're seeing for Team Memory here. But let's find out if Team Genius can fight back on the second map. Again, this is the best of 3 series. We are on the Korean server, on the Asian server right now. Battlefield of Eternity. Map number 2 coming up. Okay. Ah, that could be a nice one. That Chen is still kind of neat. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a little bit gimmicky what they're playing on the right side here. So it's a bit more normal what we see from Team Memory.
I hope so. Like you say, Memory are going for, again, something very normal, very wombo-based. Just engage, do damage. This might be a light bomb game instead of a salvation. On the other side, though, the potential is very high from Genius.
Game number 2. Let's go, ladies. We got on the left side for the Chinese team, Yagaras on ETC, Psio on Blaze, Black Cat on Liming, Railgun for the second time in a row on Anduin, Sun Quan on Hanzo, and on the right side of the map, Team Genius with Hebin on Diablo. We got Xingxingi on Chromie, Mushi Hanan on Reyna, Lucky Mong on Malfurion, and Vasto on Chen. Did you, by the way, hear that apparently Korea could run into a problem with kimchi? Because apparently the weather and other stuff ruined some of those cabbage harvests.
Oh, I did not know that was a thing.
That's a national emergency, my friend. I don't really know how true that is. I just like saw a headline, and you know how reliable headlines are. But
Absolutely.
still, that came out of a little bit out of nowhere when I first saw that. And I was like, wait a second, kimchi, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean that's a staple food over there. So
Yeah.
I doubt it's going to be Irish potato famine worth, as we do see Haven getting focused down. Will survive as Sun Jian nearly goes down to Mushi Mushi, who was dominant on that Reina last game, even though they did lose. Seeing it come in once again is still very scary.
Yeah, I also have to say that I really like what Team Memory is running in this game. And the question is really if the synergy is going to be there for the red team, because so far you look at this and you can't see too many combos. Again, it depends a bit on what exactly Chen goes for on the 10, if we're going to see some top keg plays or the triple panda instead. But if they can go for some decent isolation, maybe. Problem is, even with Jimmy, I don't see them winning the race on the Immortal if it comes to an even setup. So that's a little bit of an issue that they could definitely run into here. But yeah, time will tell. For now, Team Memory is of course ahead. But yeah, there's the potential kill against them. And we have instead the kill against Jimmy. Nicely done. Good job.
Yeah, very good turnaround. Very quick engage using the root of Anduin to set up for Jaggeris to hard engage there. Sun Jian playing a little bit further back now because there is no pull available for Anduin. It was used earlier. Everyone else is playing Heroes of the Storm. He's playing Sega Bass Fishing for his own team as Haven charges in. Camp is secured by Memory.
Yeah, and they go for Diablo, and that's the second kill. 2-2-0 right here. Chen actually rotated or started to rotate down to the bottom of the map, but never really arrived in time to help them out with anything. So a bit unfortunate for him. But yeah, solid setup here. Good job by Team Memory. The early lead, the cap, experience gain as well. And they are heading into the first Immortal with a slight advantage. So things are all... I don't want to say grim or anything, but this is not really the way that you want to start into a second map after you lost the first one. So Team Genius definitely has to turn it around on the objective now.
Yeah, 2 kills down. XP-wise, they have just under half a level deficit. Got to start making their way back in. Chromie, though, they have gone for the Time Walker's Pursuit. So they're going to have vision, a little bit of extra spell power. That's going to help them siege this Immortal very effectively. They'll have a much easier time here. Jen, by the way, interesting. Withering Flames. There's a more standard talent, but just think how useful this is going to be against Li Ming and Hanzo.
Yeah, like Withering Flames, I don't know, these spell power reduction talents are always a little bit strange. I mean, with the Nuburak, it's pretty bad just simply because of the talent here where it's located. So you have such powerful talents as an alternative. But even on Chen, he really needs to leech onto Li Ming if he wants to get any value out of that. So if he can jump into those fights and make that happen, then maybe they're going to get some value here. But as for now, at least, the red team is doing a fairly good job against the Immortal, and Chen is split from the rest. I was going on the defense here and is trying to do the same thing right now. And they're actually attacking Anduin. Railgun has to move out. He was in trouble there for a second.
Yeah, the full Dragon Breath from Chin there, and as such will be forced to back up. Took too much damage. And with this, positioning and damage output very much in favor of Genius here as they take a much better position. They eat the stun and the damage from ETC, but the race is easily going to be taken thanks to Chinchin's siege on that Chromie.
Yep, nicely done. And the red team walks away with a big Immortal. And honestly, that's a little bit disappointing here for Team Memory. It's the power of Jimmy, of course, at the beginning of a game. Now, when you're heading into a game, the first ones, this is where Jimmy is the strongest for sure. But still, I didn't expect them to walk away with a shield that is this big. So, good job. Really nicely done by Team Genius. And honestly, this is exactly what they needed. As I said, they were behind. Now they at least have a big objective, and they could use that to break through the wall, maybe even take the fort down. So there's definitely potential here.
Memory spent a lot of time in that objective phase trying to fight as opposed to race with Li Ming and Hanzo, who has gone for the level 7 serrated arrows. But they need to find the right angles to do that. In a second, those Immortals swap positions, they were going to get zoned out pretty hard. This Immortal gets quite a big chunk off the fort, but will not be able to finish the job. ETC, you can see Jaggeris was looking for the opportunity to move forward, but was shut down by the time trap of Chinchin.
Yeah, we have the Calamity now in. Level 7 talent is pretty much normal talents for now. Top side still our 1 versus 1. Still not a single kill for Team Genius, but again, the first objective gave them quite a bit of value. Now again another fight for the camp at the bottom, and it seems like Team Genius is absolutely willing to commit to this, and the Panda is already on the way. Rotating from the top lane, Blaze is meeting the rotation, but he's going to be a bit late, and they steal the camp away. They lock down ETC, and he barely slides out before Chromie can get some more damage in and take one of the targets down here. So another good move from Team Genius in their quest to win map 2 and force the deciding third map.
Chen was once again, like you said, summoned to the bot lane, and once again had to turn around halfway because his team have already finished the fight. Their burst pretty effective here. The top lane just going back for the trade, and this camp not getting too much value. It will just be D-pushed very quickly thanks to Sun Chan.
Level 7 for the Pandas in 02. Elusive Brawler right here. And even ETC looking for an exponential slide and kill. It's a bit of a slower pace here into this one. Uh-oh, Dibbles, careful. Hey Ben, they want to go for him. Chromie is helping out, but ETC is going for the body blocks, and Dibbles is down. Didn't have the stacks on the baseline, which means that he is going to be down for the count.
No Diablo on the board, caught a little bit out of position on the rotation. It's going to be up to top lane for Genius to gain value, but Zeo already back up here to deep push this. Has gone for, didn't go for the extra attack speed and quick race. He went for oil dispersal instead, but it's still Blaze. He will still clear fast.
If they want to save the Immortal, they have to control Jimmy. Jimmy is really the threat with Exterminator, and he is burning it quickly. Hanzo, of course, is doing the same thing on the other side, but as long as Jimmy can just get those auto attacks connected, it's going to be problematic. The biggest issue for Team Genius is, honestly, that they're going to go up against level 10 soon TM. With Blaze taking to the top lane and trying to burn that wave down in the camp, they should get their heroic abilities. So either you try to YOLO onto the Immortal, or you get your own experience, or they could just lose out simply because they don't have heroic abilities when their opponent does.
Race was equaled by the Hanzo. Their stage dive for ETC, like you said, it says heroics are hit. It's going to be another salvation. No light bomb memes here. Overall, pretty standard, although stage dive can of course be swapped in and out these days quite consistently. As level 10 is caught by Genius quickly after.
Yeah. There's the Immortal, they get it. ETC, nicely done. Lightning Breath gets used by Diablo, but they can't get a kill. Triple Panda, no top cap place in this game. That's unfortunate. Anduin commits to the ult, gets interrupted, still trying to run away here. Oh, and there's the kill as Diablo comes in, and another one. Boom, the follow-up with Hanzo. They win the Immortal, they lose 2 heroes, so this thing is not gonna do fuck all.
Yep, gonna be cleared so fast by Reyna here. Chinchi and Mushi burning that down. Haven looks for Yagras, maybe they could get the kill as well, but it's ETC too mobile, too easily able to back away. Like you said, will be super quickly cleaned up, and structure-wise, this will still be a pretty big lead in terms of structure health for Genius here.
Yeah, finally it was, again, they're focusing on him a lot more now, so for him it was unfortunate that he got caught there. But they did a pretty good job. I mean, just consider what happens here if they can push with the full 5-man. They would at least take the fort, I suppose. But now there's also an experience lead for Team Genius. Chromie is just murdering them from the backline. There's so little that the blue team can do to get to her. You have Diablo always shielding at the front, and Jimmy is also sitting ready for a penetrating round if anybody gets too close. The Panda, of course, with the disruptive plays. And talking the Panda, we have plays against the Panda up at the bottom of the map with the assist of a Shaman camp that they can now use as too. So they're really trying to go for it now. There's still a kill lead for Memory. But the fact remains that Team Genius is starting to, on the objective and just the control of the map in general, they're doing way better.
Yeah, they're just creeping ahead very slowly here. Haven backing up. Has enough souls, does not want to lose them before objective. Wants to make sure that they are full and healthy. Zeo zoning this very effectively. Good anchor, and with the Sonic Arrow, there is going to be no engage from Genius. As Memory just grab the camp uncontested.
Next objective is going to be up in just a sec, and there's only one team that will have an objective up as we're heading into the next one, and that is Team Genius. So they have a slight advantage here. Garrus is going to the top. I don't really think they have enough time for this. This is a little bit surprising that he
Yeah.
actually commits to the camp here. Even if Blaze rotates in, there's just no way. I mean, don't get me wrong, he has a stage dive, but he should still try to zone them out a little bit and not
he
just
gives up.
simply global in.
He gives up, he lets it go, he's going to rotate down on foot to try and make it to his team. There's a bruiser camp pushing up there as well, which is going to be a nuisance. Meantime, his team does start sieging in, and no one is contesting them yet. This will actually allow Blaze to de-push top lane.
Yeah, easily. So yeah, there's more than enough time. Jimmy's now making his way in. And there we go. Exterminator value. That talent is so insane on this map. It's just absolutely beautiful how you have talents like this.
Like 3 times.
That excel on, on specific maps. He nearly has it at 50% already. It's just crazy. Liming is trying to do the same thing at the bottom of the map. Well, and there we go.
Absolutely ridiculous. It's so much damage, like you say. It's nerfed so many times, it's still so good. Haven tanking that with Soul Shield there. Enough to share now for Chen as well, so they have a lot of defensive power. EDC with Encore, going for that cooldown reduction, the go-to talent these days, because it's really broken.
Top lane, by the way, is going to be under a bit more pressure. Arrow connects this time. ETC is coming in too. Stage dive is there. They make the play for Malfurion. He's low. The bunker is out. And they're still saving everybody. And nobody died yet. Big brawl and everybody just hitting as they're trying to go for ETC this time.
Good stun by Zeo, saving Jaggeris there, and it's going to be no one dying. Everyone gets out of this, but the positioning of the health bars very much in favor of Genius as they rush in, and they will take this Immortal race. They're going to try and look for Zeo at the same time, though Jaeger coming in. If they can't with the Immortal, they'll take the kills as they look for Haven. Soul Shield is dropped, and Haven gets out, but Zeo will be able to get the kill onto Chen as they look for Chin Chin as well. That's going to be the double kill. Can they get the triple? Stage dive for good measure. And they snipe it away from Sun Xian's arrow.
Nice triple kill here for them, and top side gets pushed. I mean, it's a bit of a theme at this point that the team that wins the Immortal then loses the fight right afterwards and doesn't get enough push power with the bad boy. So now the top side can be defended. I guess the fort is still falling considering how strong this beast is. But yeah, it's 6 kills to 2, so Memory is doing much better in team fights. But the objective for the second time now won by Team Genius, and in structures they are still heavily ahead.
They are looking really, really solid. Again, they looked good in the early game of last game, but this one, they're bringing it through and they're seizing control. A big 4-man push, 5-man push, in fact, into the bot lane to make this a double fort play. And Genius extend their lead. Exactly what they should be doing. They can't afford to lose in the late game like last time. They just keep control, keep moving, and they keep making sure that there's going to be no chance of engages. They steal the camp, great anchoring by Haben, but Jaggeris actually looking for a potential engage there, but he cannot find it.
Yeah, I'm still honestly a bit surprised that we don't see a mosh pit here. The stage dive is kind of cool, don't get me wrong, but we've seen mosh pit played with great success into compositions that have way more interrupts than what we're seeing here.
Yeah,
I mean,
the interrupt is penetrating round.
Yeah. And I guess to an extent Diablo, but Diablo didn't even go into an apocalypse or anything. There's like no apocalypse, there's no Twilight Dream. So there's like a lot of stuff that could have been done with the proper mosh pit here. So if he decides between the two and he feels that stage dive would be okay as well, I would have at least waited for everybody else to pick the 10 and then decide what you want to go for. But as it stands, I don't really think they get the same value. They have the early level 60 now though, so maybe they can exploit that advantage as long as they have it a little bit.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I love stage dive. I think it's really powerful.
Yeah.
It's going to be great to get onto Chromie. But again, like you say, they had heroics first, they could have waited. And waited for the stage dive to be useful, or waited for the mosh to be quick picked. But instead, they've committed to this. They have a really fast rotation and a great split pusher in the late game. But I am concerned about their lack of main crowd control, because right now Zeo is the main frontline engager.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, even if they would have gone for the other ults, I would have still gone for stage dive, for mosh pit here. As I said, in the European scene, you have seen so many good moshs even with plenty of interrupts on the other side. And you can always use it also as a tool to bait out or to make sure that someone has to hold the cooldown back on the other side. So you get value there one way or another. But either way, as it stands, we have Team Genius still coming in here. But this time the blue team is a little bit ahead on the race. Arrow in the back is hitting Malfurion. But Jimmy is doing his thing right now. Everybody else is defending. Team Genius wants to hold on to this, but it gets burned down quickly. That Immortal is in trouble. Here comes ETC. The Panda's also committing. They're making the plays. And Jimmy was actually caught. He tried to mount and then the stun circles appeared. So he slowed down a little bit, walks over. The kill against Li Ming in the bottom nearly, but the main fight is still continuing and Chromie falls. Chromie is down. They nearly burn Malfurion to a crisp. ETC dies. The fight's all over the place. Hanzo gets chased by Diablo. Blaze dies. Hanzo gets murdered. And they still haven't taken the Immortal. That fight turned on a dime.
That was really, really nicely done by Genius there. They went in for the fight, and they were in a little bit of trouble, but they prioritized their targets perfectly. They focused Black Cat, and they focused the Hanzo, they focused Xianxin there, preventing them from winning the race while that fight went on by zoning Black Cat out so far. And now they're in a desperate situation. They're trying to see Jin. Black Cat setting that'll work. Won't find the kill. Will find the kill. Will find the Immortal. Almost. Yeah. The slight lead for Mushi there, able to claim that Immortal. Almost got the race. If he'd landed that orb, that would have got it.
Yeah, 800 hit points. An 800 hit point shield is what we're seeing now. So they were spamming the Immortal. Did you see that? They were just like, yeah. Just go for it. It doesn't matter. Just take it. Yeah, but here comes the push. And Dibbles is back. He had the stacks, so he was revived right away. And it's a 5 versus 5. It's nearly, I mean, it's pretty much identical experience. It's 8 kills to 5. But the Immortal gets burned so quickly here. Can they save that keep, though?
So much damage coming in from Chromie. That Dragon Breath really making it hard to position defensively. The Immortal will be taken out. There's Dragon Arrow. Do they rush past? They do. Zeo dives in, but the parting of the Red Sea comes in from Genius here. The bunker gonna try and protect Yagura's, who is sniped by the Dragon Breath.
ETC slides into 3 for the perfect mosh pit, and then he realizes, yes, stage dive. Now he's dead. Now he's dead, and they can go for Gore. The Korean team, they're trying to force game 3, and they kill Hanzo, and that should set them up for their kill. Nicely done, well played. They go for it, they commit, they have everything they need here. The shield is already down. The Panda jumps in for a bit more glory as Jimmy zones out the damage dealers, tries to make sure that Li Ming doesn't get any resets. They're still fighting this out. 20 seconds until ETC is back. The bubble gets placed by Anduin. Li Ming has to teleport away. The core is already down to 70% as they commit. The 3 defenders, honestly, they're doing what they can, but it doesn't look good. Oh, jeez, they go deep now.
Hello? There's the turnaround, though. Finally, the one hope named Black Cat to try and save this has been slain, but the health bars are starting to look low. The sacrifice of Black Cat may have been enough. They live.
They actually get back. Okay. If they can turn this, that would be sick city. I mean, you look at that setup, 50% on the core. The camp's taken. The Korean team actually plays it safe. They were running out of mana on a lot of the heroes too. It wasn't only the hit point pools that were decimated, but with the healer lost, that's a problem for them. So they actually keep it up.
If he was back, it would have made it really hard for them to get onto the core, and with Hanzo respawning with Dragon Arrow, that's Wipe City there. They, like you said, they played it safe after getting the kill, but what a defense from Zeo, Black Cat, and Railgun.
I mean, at the same time, the one thing that I question a little bit is that the massive commitment of Jimmy to just try and zone out Li Ming here with the auto attacks. He's one of the guys that hits the hardest. So I wonder what would have happened here if he would have gone for core and would have let someone else try and just keep Li Ming busy so that she can't get any kills and resets. That might have made this a completely different ballgame. But as it stands, they have Storm Talons. Storm Talons for Team Genius. Blaze is trying to remedy the imbalance through the experience soak at the top lane. They're going to get it soon. They're giving up the halftime show, but there's no way around it. They need to win the next team fight.
They need to do something, and it's not great. They don't get defensive positions here. They're offensive positions, meaning they're going to have to run up and fight. Charge onto Sunqian, who's able to survive. Here comes Zio with level 20s on the board. This is their chance. Zio is really far up to try and zone out Mushi here.
Oh, stage dive after the stun. The arrow connects. They go for Jimmy. What a combo. Sexy play here by the team, but can they win the fight? A lot of them are low. They're getting burned to a crisp by the lightning breath as Diablo comes in, and Anduin is saving the day once again, but the fight isn't over.
They try to turn onto Jed, who's able to medallion and get out. In the meantime, Chromie is continuing to siege that Immortal with 10,000 health left. And Hanzo eating the Chromie shots to try and protect. No one is counter-racing here. They're just seeking kills right now. But Diablo still on the board with 80 souls, trying to turn it, but Jako's doing a great job. Great wraparound from Zio. Sunqian over the wall. They get lucky, and the time trap will not save Jinjin.
And they might just be, oh yeah, with the kill against Jen, they definitely are going to be able to take the Immortal now. But look at that opening kill again. I'm going to show that once more. So this is actually how they engaged onto Jimmy. And just check this out. There comes the stage dive plus the jet propulsion, and then they are able to get the kill. And it was such an important one. For it. And, well, now we are in a situation where we have 13 kills to 8. They're still leading kills, but they can finally get the objective too. ETC is the only one, by the way, who still protects the flank here and says like, yeah, I don't care. You are not, now that Jimmy's back, you are not going to make it to the Immortal. It's not happening. This one is ours. They need to deal with the bot lane, though. Well.
Oh, they need to deal with bot lane and top lane. There's mid. Actually, no, top lane should be fine, but yeah, that is 4 catapults heading right to the core, which is 52% left. ETC looks like he's going top first. I think this might be a mistake. Someone needs to deal with this really quickly, guys.
What?
Guys? Okay.
Hello, team? 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 The fuck is happening?
31,
what are you doing? Who's sleeping on the job here? Like, what the hell?
Little bit of a mistake there. ETC, the closest to the base, goes top lane instead. The core drops to 27%, basically guaranteeing that if they don't push in for a death push here, that they can be backdoored at any time.
Yeah, they can. Absolutely right. They can be backdoored at any point from here on out. And if they don't take the keep at the bottom now, then I don't... Yeah, there's already the Hyperion. They're really trying to shut that down as quickly as they can. And the Immortal is defeated. Team Memory, I mean, generally speaking, they're doing a great job. They played a very solid first map. But there's a couple moments that we've now seen over and over where the decision-making is just not on point.
There's been a couple mistakes, like you say, but they do still survive. They got a 4, finally.
But, dude, like, it's not only that they lost points on the core. That delayed and bad reaction that we just saw also made the Immortal nearly useless.
Yeah, because they weren't pushing with it.
Yeah, they were too late. It's just like... after looking at this, I'm like, how can this happen? You make all the right choices, and you have plenty of time to do that too, and all of a sudden you just blank. They just blanked. They didn't see it, I suppose. Nobody made the call.
Yeah. Zio retreating here. That's a big dive coming in from Haben. He's got 100 souls. Soul Shield to try and tank through this. They tried to blow him up last time. They can't do it again. He's too tanky. Great root from Vasto as they snipe the ETC. Railgun in full retreat. Haven too low to continue the fight. Dragon Arrow may have just saved the rest of the team, but it's still... Oh no, Railgun! Railgun! He gets sniped by the sand. And with that, that's a double kill.
He walked in literally every single one of them. It's just like, dude, the only way for him to die was literally if he eats every single one of the 3 shots. Yep. And he walked them through. Wow.
This looks Sunqian here for the defense. 3 members left. Black Cat, Sunqian, and Zio. But Hyperion has already been dropped. Haben even gets an extra little bit of damage onto the core with his Hellgate. And that's game number 2, going over to Genius, meaning we have a 3-game series.
All right. That ending, they actually brought it back and then that happens. Like, I don't know what to say. Elimination tournament, which means whoever wins here is the one to move on to the next round, to the semifinal. And it was actually a pretty cool second map. Team Memory and Team Genius seem to be evenly matched here, depending on the draft. And yeah, that Panda spot for Team Genius did actually fairly well. So kind of hyped for it. The Insta-Chromie ban, not going to deal with that shit again.
It was too much, and this is another map where you're going to be fighting in areas for long periods of time, so both of these bans make sense. Gazlo, fantastic for area control, and Chromie, great for area siege, so removing them both is sensible.
Yeah, so Gazlo gets banned out again. Same interaction, same dynamic that we had in the second game. The team that is second pick says right away, yep, Gazlo is first pick right now. Heroes just too strong. Let's ban him out. So it's likely that Blizzard comes in and just like nerfs Gazlo again a little bit, tweaks the numbers. And once that happens and he's not a necessary first pick every single game, you're gonna see that particular interaction disappear. And then there's going to be a bit more wiggle room in the first two bans, but as for now, at least in most games, we have teams banning him out.
Yeah. I mean, I have very much been enjoying farming Gazlo for wins during my NGS games. Currently 100% win rate on Gazlo, so it's been working for me. So take your time, Blizzard, as Garrosh is going to be first pick. This time, though, for Memory.
Yep, and they go for Jimmy again. I mean, again, Jimmy is nice also. If your opponent takes the objective, you can use him here for the single target damage. You have the double boss on the map, so that's also something that teams occasionally do, where they try to get more of the boss control. Outside of that, there's not really too many mercenary camps. There's still one camp on each side, which is pretty important. But very high priority, no matter what, for Team Genius here on the Jimmy pick, as we've seen throughout the series.
With Ana on the board, what do they combo with this? Chromie is removed. You'd expect this to probably be Li Ming, but it could still be Jaina or something else. Hanzo is, of course, still a great nano target.
I mean, they played Li Ming already, and honestly, some of those Li Ming plays were pretty solid. So if you have an Ana for the nano boost there as well, I mean, why not? The one thing that I have to say is that in this entire setup so far, at least in the tournament here, we haven't seen a Medivh yet. So
you're right.
I would not really mind seeing some Medivh plays. I mean, he's super popular amongst the European players right now, which has also had an impact on all the games that they're playing on the NA server right now. But there's the ban against Sylvanas, so push power through her. And of course the third ban for Team Memory, which could definitely hit another frontliner.
Now, finally, final ban for Memory here. I'd say Johanna as an instinct, just because I feel Johanna into Garrosh is strong, but they're going to ban out a Nubrak instead. Protect the Ana, protect the Hanzo.
Okay, I mean, a Nubrak, if you're a little bit worried about any kind of combo with Stukov, then yeah. Oh, Muradin and Chen. Haymaker, top keg.
Oh, yes, isolations, please. And massive shove.
Haymaker, top kick, and massive shove. There we go.
This is how we play. This is how Heroes was meant to be played.
Yeah, oh god, hell no. Please no. Okay. There's the Hanzo pick. Jungle pick. Hanzo is already early. And D.Va, finally. So this is the first D.Va game, actually. Which is kind of surprising.
Super hard.
She's
in Western games, she's so popular, and this is the first time we've seen her.
She even gets banned, so
yeah,
it's kind of cool to have that.
Like the three top offlaners right now seem to be D.Va, Gazlo, and Yarel, with maybe Imperius slipping in as the fourth.
You need another hero that can push people around. Jimmy has the penetrating round. Everybody can just like push heroes around here. Zeratul.
Oh, that can't push.
Nah. That could have been a Stitches, you know? Triple tank, let's go. Stitches, hook. Like, bear with me here. Stitches, hook, gorges the target. Then Muradin just like pushes them. Like, we have something here. Nothing of this is going to happen though, as we're heading into game number 3, Alderac Pass. Would be funny on the other hand.
It would be really funny. However, Zeratul with Ana, Hanzo, Junkrat is still a sensible pick here. There's some squishies. Gonna try and remove the squishies, but has to play around Garrosh, because if Garrosh is defending that backline, one tour, Zeratul is dead.
Yeah, Zeratul, I mean, he really has to pop off here, doesn't he, in the backline? So, a little bit scared for him. Godlike Ana Railgun. I mean, the guy is literally called fucking Railgun. If he doesn't hit
Fire
those
pulse,
healing
maybe?
darts, then I don't know. All right, let's go. Game 3. We got Sun Quan on Hanzo, Yugaras on Garrosh, Black Hat on Junkrat, and Psyo on Diva with Railgun on Ana. Then again, for Team Genius, the Korean team with Haben on Muradin. Xing Xingyi thought it was a fantastic idea to play Zeratul against an Ana player that is literally called Railgun. So I can't wait for those sleep darts. We get Mushi Mushi on Reina, Lucky Mong on Stukov, and Vasto is playing Chen in this game. Pretty beefy frontline for the red team. And yeah, this is for all the marbles. The team that wins makes it to the semi-final. They get rewarded. They go up against Team TAT. Lucky them. And the loser drops out of the tournament.
All right, hear me out. They still go barrel to push people into Void Prison, and then they lose anyway because they don't have any follow-up that isn't Lurking Arm.
Ingenious strategy. I love it.
Here comes Haben, kind of caught out. Will use Dwarf Toss to escape because he was zoned out by the steel trap there, the concussion mine. Jaegerus looks for an engage, cannot find it, as no one dies at this early stage of the game, and no one had to use a medallion.
Yep, all the medallion cooldowns are still up. Top side, bit of pressure against Diva. Nothing too fancy here. And the Panda, unfortunate for the blue team, it wasn't quite in range of the towers. That would have made that an interesting situation. With the adjusted tower damage, of course, after the recent patch. Could have maybe helped them.
Zio, interesting level 1 here, has opted to go for the pro moves. Now this will help against Reina and the fire damage from Chen, and eventually, if Zeratul, Hanzo is dead, and so is the mech. Double kill comes in, and there's 1.5 kills coming in at this early stage. But yeah, it will help out with the little bits of armor, but it's going to suck in lane for Diva right now because she will not have the sustain at all to contest against Chen, where she could have if she'd gone for the full metal or perhaps the liquid cooling. So instead, she is just going to get dropped out of mech form consistently.
Yeah, and of course the neat thing for them is now that Muradin also walked away with quite a couple of extra stacks for his baseline here. Sitting at 6, 2, 3. So let's see if he can do a little bit more with this. Top side, yep, Chen is already starting to try and push Diva out. Our one-on-one is still strong. And he has a level 4 talent. It's actually a full cleave build that he goes for. So not even just having on the level 1 and 16, but even committing to his level 4 choice. In comes Garrosh, drops the medallion right away. Has now also his Indomitable on level 4, but can't really set a kill up for the team.
That running cleave is what I was talking about earlier, with something that will actually help pro moves out. Good stun by Haben. Allows Xing to get out of danger. But yeah, this pro moves, it's going to help in the fights. Laning's going to suck, but it looks like Diva's strategy is to not lane, and instead just double soak and rotate between the lanes.
Well, let's see what they can actually do here in the middle in particular. I honestly, every single time that you have a Junkrat there, I really just feel just poking the structures down is always kind of neat, but in this case, he couldn't really do too much over here. Bottom of the map, we already have Zeratul sitting tight. I mean, he's the one to watch out for later on when he jumps into the backline and try to get the kills against the squishies. We have Junkrat, we got Hanzo there, couldn't even make the play for Ana. But as you already pointed out earlier, Tetcher, you got, of course, that Garrosh that he has to be careful about, and on top of that, also the sleep darts from Ana. So any kind of these setups would be a problem. Chen is, by the way, following up with the same build that we've seen previously. And they are Buddy blocking in the middle of the map already, trying to drop Garrosh here. But at least for now, he's able to escape.
Too tanky. He burned Medallion, so a little bit careful there. Knockback onto Mong. Lucky Mong being forced to back away here. Doesn't want to get too caught out of position. Haben, big wraparounds, but again, another good sidestep from Black Cat.
7 talents are in a little bit quicker. Also got now the heavy impact and the wormhole. Sledgehammer is still a bit of a talent, but I gotta say, like, I don't really know about that. I mean, again, it's kind of cool to have it, but he's really giving up a lot of the heal potential that he has later on in the game. Now, to be fair, in this case at least, he is also supported by Chen, so there is another tank on his side. But you don't want to be too squishy on a Muradin. You need to be the bulwark at the front that can just like hammer out these storm balls 6 days to Sunday and lock the stuns in for the team.
Let's throw onto Muradin. Sleep Dart right onto the mine. If that Steel Trap had activated a second earlier, Haben would be dead right now. Although, they're still going to rush him down. Here come the grenades. It's not going to be enough, and the reactive ballista balls will save Lucky Mong too.
We have only a single kill in this game. That was the earlier one where they caught someone out of guard. So nothing really too insane just happening. But yep, there we go. They're going for the first objective. I mean, this is usually the case, that objective gets ignored until we have level 7 talents for both teams, and then they're starting to make the approach here. You want to make sure that you are on even talents with your opponent. It's a bit too dicey. Ooh, Zeratul! Yep, he gets wrecked. Gets caught out on the wrong side here. And that's one player down now on the side of the Korean team. So our Chinese players have an advantage as they're heading into the first objective.
Sunjian was dropped pretty low, but Railgun remedies this issue very quickly, with the objective being channeled and will be concluded by Memory as they even up the kill count and will finally be able to get some aggression onto the map as the first cavalry goes over to them.
Still even experience on the other hand, so we're not gonna see anybody walk away with an early level 10 that they can use for the push. But of course, if they can take some of the structures down, it might help. Now, the Sledgehammer is already contributing to even more stacks. 15 and 8 on baseline and level 1 for Muradin. If he gets the cooldown reduction on his auto attacks and the piercing bolt, that would of course be quite neat for the rest of the team. But yeah, Zeratul again, he needs to pop off. He goes Void Prison. Like, I don't really know if I like this too much, considering that he has to be the one putting pressure onto the squishies. I think like a standard build would have been maybe a bit better for him, going into the Might of the Nerazim here and really playing around the cooldown and trying to just get the damage out. Big shove, yeah, for sure.
Oh, still no barrel. We almost had the meme build we described. Barrel people into the VP, but no, it's gonna be Storm of Fire because someone likes winning. As we're gonna see the defense coming out, pushing as hard as they can. Micro Missiles does a little bit of damage to Rainer, who is slept. Another brilliant, massive shove from Lucky Mongs takes Jaegerist out of the fight. The VP though.
Yeah, and immediately gets killed too, so yeah, I don't know, but that was so much fail in like one play. It's really unfortunate for him. I mean, he got unlucky there, so it's unfortunate for him, but he misses the VP and then he gets killed for it. And Garrosh survives, like, what?
I have no words.
What?
That was unreal.
How did Garrosh just survive? What happened there?
The power of a multi-man sleep dart from Railgun to give time for Jaegerist to sustain, and the fantastic healing darts just wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
So first you have that VP fail that gets followed with a Zeratul kill, then then Muradin says pretty much, okay, I gotta follow it up. Zeratul redeems himself a little bit with a solo kill against Junkrat at the bottom of the map. But I'm coming back to my point, why is he not going for an actual build right now? I mean, VP was awesome back in the days when you went for the big wombo combos that then usually got shut down by stuns, which is why players started to go into more of a solo build on Zeratul with Might of the Nerazim. And it doesn't mean that you can't get value out of a good VP, it still can be incredibly helpful to a team composition. But just looking at the two teams here and the amount of squishies on the other side, if you have a good Zeratul player that goes for Might of the Nerazim here and a really just like dynamic playstyle, you can rip that backline apart in a team fight.
Yeah.
I feel
Even
like
with this. Sorry, go on.
No, it's like it just feels like a lost opportunity here. I don't know. It doesn't mean that they can't get value out of the VP, but I don't really think that it stacks up to what he could do with a proper build that could threaten the backline.
Even with this build, with the full Cleave build, you don't see Wormhole that often these days. You usually see the W engage with Singularity Spike. And you use the blink to escape because that 1 second, 1.25 second delay before you can return to your blink location is Garrosh death time. And so it's still just a weird setup builder going in. He's going to try and dive the backline, do some damage to Railgun, but it's going to Wormhole out.
Yeah, Wormhole's out, comes back in. There's the VP. Can they set it up now? Yeah, Zeratul is already low and a safe attempt, but it's really the Panda that they have to deal with. And actually, Junkrat is the one to deal with him the most. He just simply pushes them away, and Panda duration is pretty much over. So Junkrat is cancelling out that ult with a well-placed mine.
So what we just saw there was the attempt at the wombo they're trying to do with VP, which is VP into Chen Storm of Fire engage for the root, which is unusual to say the least.
I mean, they have the 13 now on Stukov 2, so they can lock them out even harder.
True.
So if that works out, then maybe. But right now, it's another objective that could very well go over to Team Memory. So a bit of an uphill battle. To be fair, they have 3 kills as well, so it's not like they can't find their kills here. But they're also getting pressured. In the middle, as the fort is already a bit low, Mirrodin is done with the baseline, so he has the piercing bolt now. Yeah, and Zeratul, look how much damage he does just simply without his 10. Without the Might of Nerazim. He's really threatening Black Cat on Junkrat over and over again, but he just doesn't have the follow-up.
Yeah, Black Cat would be dead if he'd been able to get those setups, if he'd been able to have that little bit of extra burst, because Ana wasn't reacting fast. He tries to go for Railgun there, just being forced to blink away. And look at this, he's just completely separated from his team right now. He's playing a completely different game, as Dragon Arrow is sidestepped.
Yeah, does miss. Here comes Mirrodin. Again, the attack onto Junkrat, and he gets the kill. But there's the taunt, where's the follow-up damage? It's not there, they can't go for Zeratul, they're trying. He isolates Ana, they should be able to take her down here. And yeah, she has no escape. Mirrodin is dead as well though, but Zeratul comes in with the kill. So they still get their kills, but I really think they made his life a little bit harder than it had to be. Either way, he's getting some damage in, they get the double kill, which is super important. They traded Mirrodin for that. They have also a good push going on in the middle. I mean, that's going to take down that fort. It's a huge one. Just look at that setup. So how many headhunters do you have? All the headhunters.
Here comes the nuke out to try and zone for the defense. Stormfire a little early to dodge the damage, but able to get that turnaround focus onto Garrosh, and that will guarantee the objective and maybe kill the Garrosh. Nope, never mind. Great concussion mine coming out from Black Cat. Perfectly timed with the Riptire as well. He channels the point. He's gonna try and save this, but Zeratul Chin denies the channel with the blink in, but Lucky Mong will still be taking out a triple kill in exchange for the objective.
Yeah, they get the objective, they lose 3 heroes, experience lead now, again for Team Memory. Honestly, a lot of this just feels familiar, doesn't it? The blue team wins fights and has the superior kill count, but they lose out on the objective and start to lose control of the map. Very reminiscent of what we saw on Battlefield of Eternity.
It really, really is, and once again, they're behind on structures again. They need to get themselves back into this. Mid will be cleaned out pretty quickly. It's a full scatter Hanzo build, so they do have the wave clear they need. D.Va, by the way, diverting power, going to be coming in on level 16, not going for the usual shield talent that you get on that level. Going with a little bit of extra sustain here, which will finally help her 1v1 Chen, so she won't insta-die.
Yeah, they're going up to the top again against Mirrodin as they're trying to go for the kill once more. Can't quite pull it off here. And at the bottom of the map, yeah, Junkrat had to actually retreat. I mean, he defended against the objective, then he saw Zeratul coming in and was like, yeah, no, that's not a one-on-one that I'm eager to engage into.
Really nice camp micro here, really reducing the amount of damage that Black Cat had to take there. Really good to see. And they're going to create some extra pressure onto mid lane, which is quite low in fort health. And if they do get that, that will actually even up the fort counts. They're still in this. Like you said, they're ahead in XP. They're slightly behind in buildings, but that won't last for much longer, assuming they can just get some space in mid lane.
Okay, they go for boss. I was just about to say, we haven't seen a boss attack yet. And they make the play at the bottom. Does the red team figure that out? Zeratul is close, but Mirrodin is rotating in. Zeratul has the bubble. He sees it. Goodbye, my friend.
He saw the time trap. He didn't see it. He must have not seen it because he blinked in. And that was beautiful placement from Black Cat there, combining Sticky Wicket there. Able to get that isolation, and with that, they get the kill and the objective.
Yeah, that was...
Boss on the way.
That was, I mean, honestly, Garrosh just sits there and is like, you for real, bro? Comes in and just like hits the hotkeys and takes him down. So Zeratul is instantly dead, and well, now we go. That's a big push with the boss at the bottom of the map, which gives them a free fort. Objective is also up. They might get a lot out of this situation. Zeratul is going to be back in another 8 seconds and can help to defend. D.Va is still sitting in the middle. Yeah, 1.5 levels ahead right now. 1.5 levels ahead at this point, which would guarantee them an early 20 if they don't take another team fight and lose it.
Diva's been doing a fantastic job soaking it up, and will actually maybe be able to claim mid. Nope, she came in to assist the team with potential team fights. So good job there. Zio gonna clean up this. She has the huge AoE that Diva offers. But it looks like this may turn into a full fight. Muradin going to be the one to tank the steel trap. Caution Mine still there. There's the taunt, and goodbye, Haben. He gets the avatar. He gets away.
Yeah, the goodbye a little bit different than expected, but he makes it out of the fight anyways. Zeratul is dead again. He committed Sudoku at the bot lane. He came back and died immediately once more. The Panda is also eliminated, and the blue team is just starting to murder it here.
Mushi Mushi tried to replicate the success in game number 1 and turn this into a 1v4. Scatter arrow down to 60 health. Raider looked for the turnaround play onto Hanzo, by the way. That fight was negated. Lucky trying to heal up the team. It's 3 versus 4. This is still doable. Vive Genius here, but they are getting zoned out real hard here, and they need Reina to be top.
Yeah, and Haben gets poked down now too. Yeah, they need a genius move to come back here, and they decided to simply walk away from the objective and let this one slide. The problem for me is really it's not only the objective that they're giving up, they also will have to face a level 20 talent on the opponent side. Yeah. So that's gonna be tough, like really tough. 20 plus objective, yeah, good luck dealing with that.
Zeratul needs 20 to be useful here. So far, it's not working out in their favor. He's still a level and a half away. It's available for the side of Memory, who now have Titanic Might. They have extra oomph timing attacks. The Nano Infusion, the damage output's just too much here. Hanzo gonna go with Bullseye. This should just be a push down. I don't know if they can win with this because of core armor, but it's not gonna be looking pretty for the side of Genius.
Coming straight into the middle again. Trying to push this out. Bot lane, Diva is dealing with it. Top lane Ford is pretty much a foregone conclusion that it's going to fall. The 20 talents are here, as of course expected. And, well, they focus on the bot lane for now. They should at least get this one. Remove the first armor shield here with an important move. If they can get some kills, they might be able to go for game. This is Team Memory coming in with some solid pressure. First one is down, could still rotate into, well, maybe even the middle or the top and try to get some pressure going there. You want to do as much damage as you possibly can before your opponent hits 20.
They push in micro missiles, just focusing to keep down Chen and Reina, making the most of that exterminator on Reina. This will actually allow them to 5-man defend mid, and this will allow them to stay in this unless they lose Haben. That was a good kill. Zio with the percentage damage to finish the job there, and with the numbers advantage, is it going to be Memory? Take it out, that middle keep.
Yeah, they need to take that middle keep as quickly as they can. 20 is so close right now for Team Genius. They might even... yeah, no, they don't want to risk anything. I was about to say, maybe they might not get it because Team Genius decides to defend it properly, but they don't want to lose heroes here. They know exactly that if they lose a hero or two, it's just going to spiral out of control and they're going to get snowballed hard. So now they have their level 20, and of course, it's pretty much coming down to this next fight. Whatever happens there, they need to win it. The problem is that Team Memory is just rotating topside and is going for boss. In plain vision, I should add. So they just simply... But they have Hanzo. They got Hanzo with straight arrows, and the red team lets it happen.
Yeah, they can't really do anything about it. They don't have Muradin. They can't take the fight. They're just going to have to defend this. It will push into the lane with the last keep, meaning it will be easy to defend, but of course, every keep is armor off the core here. However, they have the important talents now. That top-off will help. Execute will give them better kill potential. The rewind on Muradin might save his life here, and Shadow Mending might make Zeratul useful.
Yeah, we'll find out, but for now it's 11 kills to 6. The boss is pushing in. Oh, that taunt! Yeah, nice. Nowhere! That's a big one. Zeratul can now play much more aggressive. Yeah, here comes the flank. They're trying to go for Ana. She's dead. Ana's dead.
They get it. Zeratul now with Shadow Mending, and the Void Slash is eating through people here. They're getting all the kills. There's the Diva nuke dropped in full retreat. Gets the mech, and Diva is out of there. But Zeratul was thinking about giving chase. Boss still needs to be cleared. Objective is up. Genius just saved themselves the game, but they are far and away from getting themselves the comeback.
Now, they will save the keep thanks to G-Minus Exterminator, and they're going for the objective, so they actually got a shot here. I mean, they are not out of this yet. That next objective, 19 minutes into the game, it should help them to at least eliminate the 2 forts, the one at the top and the bottom of the map, and maybe a little bit more than that. So, they got a shot. It's not going to be easy for them considering how far behind they are in general, but maybe they have a chance here. And they... Oh, Memory is trying... Memory is trying to lose the game.
Oh, Jun.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Oh
it's beautiful.
Nice. Nice.
That Matrix
Zeratul
just saved them the game.
commits Sudoku again. And yeah, stop solving all these math puzzles, dude. Seriously. So he dies once more, and that means they can go for the core here probably. This is gonna be rough. 5 versus 4. Do they actually try to defend, or did they just YOLO this?
It's possible. They don't have... They have one mercenary left. No, sorry, that's a that is a catapult. So they don't have a mercenary to reduce the armor on the core. So they're just going to try and put pressure on. They've cleaned out one cavalry. Oh, they're just looking for the fight. They know if they get the fight, they can end the game here. They're looking for the kill. Onto Haben. Jagras looking for the medallion. Lucky Box took off, saves his own ass, and therefore the game.
Yeah, that medallion would... honestly, if he's on cooldown on the medallion, he is dead. Plain and simple. There's no way to save yourself in that situation.
Lava is crying somewhere.
Yeah, he indeed is. Lava is not going to be happy about this. I don't really know an tanked player that is happy with the medallion being in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with them. That should have been potentially a game ender because they made the right rotation, but it is a tool and it is available. Top 4 is taken down, and there is a big push with the last remaining cavalry in bot lane.
And that's the problem. Now, because they were trying to go for the fight, they lost both forts still. They could have defended all of them, but they decided to try and get a kill, which I can understand. It's not a bad choice by any means. It just in this case didn't work and backfired, so that was a bit unfortunate. Arrow is missing once again, going far and wide here. They try to go for the panda. The triple is coming. Here's already the void. Oh, nearly a kill against Mirrodin as the Riptire comes through, and there's another rip.
Extra oomph into Stormer Fire. It's always up. And another one. It's coming in. They're looking for Mushi Mushi. He's going to get caught in the defense matrix. He's sniped by Hanzo. Junshin is going to get completely destroyed in the background, though. And that is going to be the 1-for-1. Both the biggest damage dealers in this game are taken out. Reptire number 5 comes in.
This is getting just nuts. This game is absolutely crazy. I thought the second one was already bonkers, but we are just going ham here. By the way, Hanzo is nearly doubling the damage that we see for the top damage dealer on the side of Team Genius. He's at 104,000 damage compared to the 54k that we have on Jimmy.
That is insane. The AoE he's been doing with the scatter arrow. A lot of that has also been from Giant Slayer, just eating Mirrodin. But it's still absolutely insane to be able to do that. That is quite a few catapults, but the core will regen. They don't actually need to defend that, but they will come back here and deal with it anyway, just to be sure.
I love that you also call them catapults, because they're not catapults, but I do the exact same thing. Yeah. So it's nice that I'm not the only one making that mistake. And every single time I do it, I realize my mistake, and then my head goes like, fuck it, it's catapults.
Yeah. What are their actual names? Because there's the Knolls, but there's also a Knoll camp.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just Knolls. I don't know. Catapults.
No one knows.
It's like, it's Knolls that are named Catapult.
Gotcha, hang on, I've selected it. It is a Reaver minion.
Okay, they're called Catapults.
Yes, they are.
13 kills to 10. And, well, that might be the last one. Here comes the attack. Zeratul is getting out, actually, for now. He's on 50% HP. Here comes the Hyperion. They're committing to it. They're going for the fight. Zeratul is looking for the angle. Top lane, by the way, pushing heavily. That's the last remaining keep that Team Genius has, and it is going to fall soon, TM. Doesn't matter, though. Do they get the kills at the bottom? They do. Junkrat is down. Here comes the Void Prison. Ana is dead as well. Oh, they get also the kill against Garrosh. They clean them up. That could be game here. Hanzo survives, and they're retreating. But as I said, top keep will fall. Top kill will fall, and if the game goes any longer, if the objective doesn't finish it, that could be a big problem.
There's going to be a lot of minion pressure in top lane. Bot lane is already being pressured. They're grabbing boss. They want to end this here and now. They have a camp in mid. They can't leave everyone on boss. Zeratul has to come back and defend because Zio and Xunshan are defending this. They're holding the line. The core. Minions are on the way. It should defend. There's only one cannonball. And as such, it will be defended. Oh, actually,
the cannonballs at the bottom are also starting to move in, so I don't know about this.
Can they backdoor maybe? There's no there's no armor. I don't know. I don't know if it's doable, but is it worth trying to defend that? Zeratul, Jinshin is going to come back and clean this up, remove any pressure. They're just going to have to defend this on the Kings.
What a game. 25 minutes in already. Zeratul is slowly making his way over here, and a boss gets burned down.
Hanzo value there, really making the most of that serrated arrows to clean that up. Zeratul clearing mid. They want multi-lane pressure here. Mid lane may be the lane of choice to try and end this through, but Team Genius, they can't find the angle. They still can't find the win. And the fact is, even if they do, Infinite Riptides are going to clean up basically anything that pushes in with this. They have to win with a fight.
Yeah, they need to win another fight. It's 13 kills to 13. They committed at the bottom. They go for the Hyperion right away. They tried to lock D.Va down, but they want this keep. They want to take the first one down, and they're just going for it. They already have the Raiders in. And, well, here comes Junkrat. Zeratul is looking for him, but can't find him. The keep is gone, though.
Riptide's down on full cooldown. Muradin sniped it with Sledgehammer because he got the bonus damage onto it and killed it in one hit, so no Riptide available anymore. It's all about top lane defense now.
Yeah, one keep down. 3 keeps down on the side of Team Genius. All 3 lost. They're trying to take the Raider down here. There's the flip. Muradin is taunted, gets the Avatar through, and jumps out. No kill just yet. And Raider is about to be eliminated. They go for the Panda. Doesn't have the ult. He doesn't have the ult. He's dead. He's dead. He got interrupted. He gets interrupted, and they're chasing. The medallion used for Jimmy as he's trying to get away. Muradin is in trouble too. Hebin is about to go down. That's a double. That has to be fucking game now. It has to be. It should be.
It should be. There's the bullseye. Zeratul is low. He goes back in. He gets the healing with Shadow Mending, but he doesn't get the VP onto Xunshan. And as such, it's all down to Mushy. But he is so outnumbered. Lucky Mog in full retreat. Mushy with nowhere to go. The penetrating rounds are carrying, but he can't win the numbers game. And finally, a full team wipe. There's no keeps. This has to be it.
Yeah, you can't mushy your way out of this one. 5-man team wipe, 18 to 13 kills. Just double checking, no minions at the bot lane to decide the game for the team. And they are taking it. The Chinese team, ladies and gentlemen, Team Memory with a victory against Team Genius on the 3rd map on Alterac Pass. What an insane series. Absolutely epic performance here by both teams. But it's Team Memory that moves on to the semifinals, and Team Genius is eliminated from the tournament.
It wouldn't be a game end like that if they hadn't missed one more arrow at the end. It is this seems to be, honestly, are we at the point after these 2 series that we have to rename NA Arrow?
No.
Okay.
The meme doesn't work anymore.